Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper and welcome back to a brand new video, and today what we're going to be talking about, guys, is we're going to be ranking every single special weapon in PUBG from worst to best. Now, when I'm talking about special weapon, what I'm referring to is any sort of gun that is only found in airdrops or that isn't a common spawn and that you don't see from game to game, and go a little bit more in depth with all of these so that you know in the heat of battle whether you should swap out for the weapon that you currently haven't picked that up or what have you, or if you should just let it pass. But just before we get into all that, I have some really good news. I am bringing back the level 3 helmet keychains, and I'm going to be doing another big giveaway. So if you would like to enter to win one of these keychains, it's super simple. I'm going to keep it the same rules as always. Make sure you do drop a like on the video. That is your first requirement. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel as well. And then the final thing that you need to do is let me know in the comments what is your favorite special weapon in PUBG. And once you've done all three of those things, you are automatically entered. And if you are one of the lucky winners, I will message you very soon on YouTube to get your details, and I will send you this keychain. Final thing as an option, if you guys want to, go in the description and check out my Discord server. It's a good way for you guys to both get in contact with me, and if you want to play PUBG and you need some teammates, it's a great way to look for it there. There's always constantly people looking, and it's set up perfectly for that. So go and check out my Discord server, guys, up in the description. And with all that being said, and without further ado, let's go and get into ranking every single special weapon in PUBG from worst to best. Now, when making this list, it was very competitive because all of the guns that you would assume that are going to be coming out of these airdrop crates are all going to be pretty good, you know what I mean? They're all very competitive with one another, so in this list, it was definitely tough selecting which one should go where. But when it comes down to the bottom of the barrel and the worst weapon, I don't think this one was really too hard to pick. Now, I have to consider this a weapon because technically, by the description of the game itself, this can be fired, and you can get kills with this if it's done right. And this is going to be none other than the flare gun, and yes, you can actually use this as a real weapon. Now, you only get like 1 to 2 shots based on how many you can find with it, so obviously that's not the intended use of this flare. What you're supposed to do with it is shoot it up into the air. I'd recommend it directly straight up so it lands nearest to your actual position, but what it does is call in an airdrop plane that's going to give you 2 variations of different special items. If you're outside of the play zone when you fire it, it's going to drop you a really nice vehicle, so you'll get a UAZ with these bars around the windows in the front, so it's extremely difficult for anybody to try to shoot through those, and it's super well protected. So you're either get one of those, or if you drop it inside the play zone, it's going to give you a weapon drop that is going to have like either an absolutely beast set of guns or a bunch of armor, and sometimes even both. You might get 2 guns, some armor, and a really nice backpack. Like, it's pretty much you're getting double airdrops like out of a regular one. That's just the randomly ones that come in normally throughout the match, and you essentially get 2 of those, or the contents of those 2, if that makes sense. So that's what the flare gun does. It's basically how a way to get these better things, but I guess I had to consider it as one of the special guns because it is definitely special and it actually can kill people if you do it right, so hey. But getting into the real picks for this list, that one doesn't really count as it's a flare gun. It's not really practical for it. But getting into more practical guns, and I would have to say that the worst gun that you can get out of a drop, in my opinion, is going to be the M249 Lmg. Now, unfortunately, I would say this is one of the most common weapons that you can get out of drops, and the reason why I'm not really a really big fan of it is because it's just not super useful, especially in solo games and duo games. It's pretty good in squads, and the game mode that you're watching right now is brand new. It's 8-man squads, and like there's dynamic weather changes, and there's a lot of room to get these special weapons because airdrops are constantly being called in, and it's pretty good for that. But when it comes to really games that there's not as many people as this, 4 or less, then the M249 is a little overkill, and it just doesn't really have that much of a purpose, in my opinion. Not to mention, this doesn't give you a whole lot of options either. The really only thing you can attach to it is a sight, and when you have like an assault rifle or something, you're gonna be able to put whatever you want on there. But when it comes to this, you have almost 0 in terms of customization, so that kind of sucks, and you're definitely gonna want to have some of that, but you just don't with this weapon. Its biggest strength and weakness is the fact that it holds 100 rounds in the magazine, so you can suppress a squad if they're posted up in a house. But this is also a curse because there's an insanely long reload time, and you're going to be down out of the action for a while if you burn through all of that, and then you don't make any progress with it. So it's a very risky gun to run, in my opinion, and I really don't take it unless I have something like an M16, which I want to drop. If I have an M4, I'm definitely going to keep that, but I rarely will take this. I'll give it to one of my teammates, or I'll just let it pass, honestly. Now, taking a step above from that, but not getting really into the higher tier, something that I still think is a little less than average, is gonna be the Groza. And I know this is the unpopular opinion of the day. Some people are absolutely in love with this one, but I'm just not really a big fan of it. I think it's overrated. Crucify me for saying that, but I just think that the Groza is outclassed by some of the regular assault rifles. Yes, in theory, this thing can be an absolute laser if you hit all your shots, but it does have a pretty decent amount of kick compared to some of the other ones as well, and I just don't think it's as practical as something like an M4 is, where you can delete people in like just a couple seconds flat. The Groza can do that, but you have to land every shot, which can be a little bit of a task, especially at a decent range. But that being said, I'm not telling you to not take this out of drops if you see it in there. Me personally, the only thing that I would trade this out for is if I have like an M16 or an AKM that I don't really want, but if I have a Scar L, if I have an M4, I'm going to hold on to these weapons, and maybe I'll just take the ammo for if I've got like a Kar 98 or whatever, but I'm just going to let the Groza pass unless I need an automatic like that, because it's very, very good for up close. Definitely great at medium, but kind of just meh at long range. And I don't know where all this love for the Groza is coming from. It is a great gun, it really is, but I just don't think it's as good as some other ones in the game. Something I like better than the Groza, however, and I would pretty much take in all situations, I really can't think of any scenario which I wouldn't pick this up. This is going to be the MK14. Now, if you've never played with this weapon, don't worry, because it is a little rare, but if you play this new game mode, you're bound to get it. But if you're a big fan of the SKS in the regular game as a common spawn, and you're a fan of that, then this gun is going to be just for you. The damage on this thing in the range is absolutely ridiculous, but it's not only good as a long range weapon, but it can handle itself at medium range, and if you have a red dot and you throw this into full auto, you're gonna absolutely do incredible amounts of damage, and as long as you can put your shots on correctly, and it's not that hard to control, surprisingly. I don't know, I guess I just must be unlucky or something, because when it comes down to it, I talked about a top 5 rarest items in this game, and the MK14 was one of them. I had a lot of people commenting that like they get this literally all the time. Maybe I'm just unlucky and I never seem to hit this in a drop, but that's how it is for me. I probably have the least amount of playtime with this gun. Maybe I'd actually need to see some statistics on that, but I rarely ever get this thing, so if I see it, I'm definitely going to take it, at least just to have experience, you know what I mean? So I would recommend the same thing to you guys. If you get in a drop, definitely absolutely run it. Now, getting into the really high tier weapons out of these special airdrops, this is going to be my boy the Aughh A3. If you like the M4 in this game, you are going to love the Aughh, because in my opinion, it's the M4 but just like a little bit more upgraded. While they both do the same technically bullet damage, the Aughh hits so much harder, the bullets travel a lot faster as well, and it just does everything that the M4 does just a little bit better, right? I really wish that they would make this a common spawn. I would love the Aughh to be competitive with the M4 in the regular game, with the Scar L and stuff like that. If they would make the Aughh a common drop and then add another 5.56 assault rifle, whatever they wanted to do, and put some new ones in special airdrops, that would be absolutely awesome. I'm kind of sick and tired of playing with the same 3 over and over again, and I'd love variation. I love this weapon in particular, so I just hope that one day it will be a common spawn and we can have a new one. Now, in contrast to the ones that we previously spoke about, there is no situation where I would not take the Aughh. If I get that in a drop, doesn't matter what my current setup is, that is absolutely going to my inventory, and I'm going to be rocking that for the rest of the game. So, that being said, now we need to get into our final ones here. So here comes the decision for the final 2 weapons in the game, which I think are both god tier, regardless of how I put them on this list. I think they're both amazing. You should always take these if you get it, but I'm just going to give my preference for one over the other. Now, coming in at the spot just before the top is going to be the M24 Sniper Rifle. Now, here comes the great debate between these two, but before we get to that, when we have to discuss this, if we're going to compare it to another weapon in the game, I'd say that this is probably the Kar 98's bigger brother, and there's a reason for that, right? It fires the exact same round, 7.62, which is great, and you'll have plenty of that throughout the whole game, and you shouldn't really have a situation where you run out. But where this one really stands out to me is how efficient and effective it can be. As long as you place your shots on point, you will be dropping people like mad. And also, just saying, this has the best suppressed sound in the entire game, like, so don't even come at me with anything else. Listen to this. I love this one so much, and there is no situation where you should let this one go, right? As long as you got a decent scope and even have like a silencer, then it's going to be a good day for you. But the best weapon in airdrops that you can get out of PUBG is going to be the other sniper rifle that's the big brother to the M24. This is the AWM, and ladies and gentlemen, what can I say about this that hasn't already been said before? What I would tell you is that this is like the streamer and YouTuber's best friend, right? Because it makes for absolutely amazing clips, as you can one-shot people from ridiculous distances, and it is so much fun to use. But the statistics on this are literally wild. Its base damage, how hard it hits, and its bullet speed are all a step above the M24, but the only really big downside to it is that it has its own specific ammo type and usually only get about 20 shots, so you really got to spend them wisely. But if you can land all those with the AWM, there should be really no reason why you'd have a problem taking people down, you know what I mean? You know, the great debate amongst a lot of players is which one is better, the M24, the AWM, which one should I take and which one should I like either give to a squad mate or one that I should let go. In my opinion, I would always take the AWM. If the M24 is the only option, yeah, of course, grab it. But I just think that the AWM is a step above the M24 in my opinion, and overall the best weapon that you can get out of these airdrops, and that is a, you know, a special one in this game. But that is going to be all a list of everything ranked for me. But I want you guys to let me know in the comment section, which one do you like the best out of airdrops? What is the thing that you would like the most? Hey, maybe you're a flare gun guy. I'm not even gonna roast you for that one. Real talk, if someone out there is able to get a flare gun kill and you show me it, like send me a clip on Twitter. By the way, my Twitter's in the description if you'd like to, just if you're curious about that. But if one of you guys is able to get a flare gun kill, I will personally make sure that I like your tweet, and I will definitely share that around, because that's going to be some crazy stuff. I don't think anybody in their right mind would really try that, but if you're up for it, jump into the new game mode, get the flare gun, and see if you can actually land a kill with it, because it's going to be a ridiculous challenge, but it is most definitely possible. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the list for today. I really hope you did enjoy this. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you are brand new, and if you've done all the things like previously that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, then you will be entered into the giveaway, and stay tuned for the winners on that. And plus, I'll have more giveaways coming up very soon. That goes without saying. Maybe I'll bring the level 3 helmet keychains back, or, you know, if there's something else that you guys want me to give away, let me know in the comment section. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all on the next live stream or the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.